Hi, my name is Megan Williams. I did my informational interview with someone I have known for a while. Her name is Amanda Revak. She works at the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium. First, I will go over the mission of the Pittsburgh Zoo. The Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium works behind the scenes during tours, with Zoo Camp, Kids Science, Zoo U, Zoo Teens, in order to educate younger students and the public on the animals and other aspects of the environmental world. They have one of the programs titled Pizza with the Keepers, where basically students sit down at lunch with the keepers and they get to ask them about their job and what they do and see if that would be a career for them. Mandy states in an interview that I have cited in references that the purpose of these programs is to teach kids how science really works. Because science, usually they think of the scientific method as asking a question and saying this is yes and this is no, this is right or this is wrong, but that is not true. A lot of scientific research comes up with questions later on down the road, and then you investigate it a little more to figure out if that is the most useful option or if that is how the specific question works, and it all depends on the research that you do. So this is only a small part of what Mandy helps during her job. She also states that it helps these kids in college and in high school. Just because they learned it during the Kids Science program, they're able to understand things better in school. So Amanda Revak is the Kids Science and Zoo coordinator at the Pittsburgh Zoo, as I have said. She works with the Kids Science program and she has for 10 years. Her passion is for engaging teenagers in inquiry-based science, animal behavior research, and real-world conservation. And this is informed by her background in animal behavior. And she also works with Project Dragonfly, so that she does extra things. It's not only kids science. She has informed me that she also has the chance to work in other research fields like she had planned. What is kids science? A year-long program. It introduces middle school students to the scientific method and conservation efforts. Activities include classroom lessons, data collection and analysis, and behind-the-scenes tours, research projects, and animal encounters. The picture on the top is of me holding a snake during Zoo U, not Kids Science, but I took classes in Kids Science starting my 7th grade year. I took it in 8th grade. It's a 2-year-long program, not only 1 year, actually, and you do it every other Saturday. Before that, I did Zoo Camp as a younger kid, and I also went into Zoo U, and I did a year of Zoo Teen. So the middle picture on this slide is of the lion, one of the male lions at the zoo. It is behind-the-scenes tour that I did quite often, and the picture on the bottom is one of the extra staff members. We had multiple staff members come in and talk to us about animals. They would present them to us, give us facts about them, and that's basically what day in class was like. The next slide states what Mandy's career path was. Mandy's major or specialty was animal behavior. She wanted to travel to research animals like Jane Goodall. She worked with animal friends for a period of time. She also worked as a dog trainer at PetSmart. This helped her career greatly because she was able to work with animals and people, and her first job at Kids Science was part-time. The picture on this slide is of the red panda at the zoo. Her name is Zia. That is not Mandy's hand, but the trainer or the keeper was presenting her to us, basically. Okay. Core components of Mandy's job include doing background research and lesson planning, public speaking, being personable, experience, and being able to read scientific literacy. So basically she does a lot of research on scientific journals, and she puts a whole class together for Zoo U and Kids Science. And she said she does a lot of work for that because she really wants to help the kids. How do these influence me? Through Kids Science, with Mandy as a role model, I was able to learn these aspects as well, which improves the skills I will need for my career and during college. People that would depend on me in a job like Mandy's would be the students and the parents. She said she works hard to keep busy, to make a difference in the world, and keep her students and classes interested and informed on these topics. The picture on the top of this slide, on the top left-hand corner, is just in class on one of the projectors. We were talking about identifying the tigers at the zoo. We did a lot of identifying animals, which is very important to research fields, which is what I would like to get into for marine biology. The bottom picture in the bottom left-hand corner is of Kids Science. One of my years, we were sitting in a circle and we got to interact with the animals ourselves as well. We did handling sometimes, and these are two of their armadillos just running around, and we had to learn how to basically handle a lot of animals, which was mainly dealt with in Zoo U, or actually in Zoo Teen, but we did get early experience with them as well in the education building. Experiences Mandy said prepared her for this job would be trial and error of previous jobs and experiences. Research was a very useful skill. Dog training helped her to also teach people, and ability to find information. The picture on this slide is of our whole Zoo U class, our Kids Science class, and Mandy is on the left, and Grace, one of our other teachers, is on the right in green. Basically, Mandy said that there was a lot of different jobs that prepared her for this. She didn't think she would become a teacher. She always wanted to, as I've stated before, do research in the field, and she said that she did spend a lot of time out in the field one year alone, and it got boring. She got lonely, so she had to switch that up and try something different. And I definitely understand that, as marine biology being my major, because I don't really know where I want to go yet. So I think talking to her was very useful because it showed me that I did not have to pick only one way. And that goes in with my key takeaways. Experience is key. Several different kinds of experiences are important. Keeping an open mind can open up a whole new area of opportunities, especially in this field of work. And the extra mile, being passionate in your work is necessary for success. If you are not comfortable somewhere, make sure to try something else that may be more fitting for you. The Pittsburgh Zoo as an organization, in Mandy's words, all good zoos focus on conservation and education of the public. The Pittsburgh Zoo takes this very seriously and creates events in favor of this value. As a future marine biologist, this is one of my main values as well, and I would want to be a part of an organization with the same goal. I do not necessarily want to work in a zoo as my first option. I haven't decided where I want to go yet, but I think talking to Mandy really put in perspective what I could do at a zoo. I don't have to be a keeper or an aquarist, though I would probably be an aquarist. I could also be a teacher. And aquarists also a lot of times are teachers for different classes, for different tours. They also inform the public. It's not just Mandy, and I know that the Pittsburgh Zoo takes a lot of focus on that, and they have a lot of different people in different places teaching the public and teaching the classes, and they're always open to doing tours. We were doing tours all the time in Kids Science and Zoo U, pretty much every class period, and there are multiple organizations in this specific zoo that are dedicated to that. I would like to be a part of something that does that as well, because when you walk by and hear someone call the sea lions a seal, it gets kind of frustrating. So I like the fact that I could be able to be a part of something to inform people. On this slide, I have two pictures of the polar bear. We did for Kids Science, every Kids Science was able to choose at the end of their first year basically an enrichment project for any animal almost in the zoo. We chose the polar bears, and we ended up doing what was supposed to look like a seal. They informed us on what we could use and what we could not use for them. So we couldn't use glue or nails or anything like that to tie the toys together. We basically just used rope and peanut butter, and we covered it in basically what they eat, what they're allowed to eat, and what their diet consists of. This really showed us how the keepers handled their health and their diets and how we were involved in that. My future, after talking to Mandy, I actually went on a Galapagos field study trip for St. Francis. And that really showed me basically what I wanted to accomplish, because in ZooU, I think it was my first time I could take a class, I was introduced to the wonder that is the Galapagos. After hearing one of the interns' presentations, I'd always wanted to go, and it was my dream to learn more about topics like this and turn it into a career. I was so jealous of this intern that got to go, and then when I came to St. Francis and heard that was a possibility, that really made me want to choose to go here, and I'm so lucky to have been able to go my first year, but I wouldn't have known what it was, or I might not have even been interested, or even chose St. Francis if I didn't know my career path, or that I wanted to be a marine biologist, or that I wanted to go to the Galapagos, and that was all because of ZooU. I have the possibility in my mind of being a teacher like Mandy if things don't work out in research, or if I feel uncomfortable there like she did, or if I end up being in a lab and that's not what I wanted, or even if I don't make enough money as a zookeeper and want to do something more than that and be in charge of more. I could start low and always end up pretty much anywhere, depending on where I'm most comfortable. We both tend to take on several tasks, and I would want a job with the freedom she has. To be able to make a difference in people's education is important to me, so I feel like if I had the freedom to research freely and do things that I'm interested in, it would really benefit who I'm working with and others that want to learn like me. Getting my master's degree is my next step as of right now, and after having my interview with Andy, I had an internship interview at the aquarium. This could lead to a career in an aquarium, as I've said, though this is not my first goal. On this slide, I basically have a picture of me at the Galapagos, of the penguins behind the scenes that I went to one year, and a picture of one of Darwin's finches. Not that they're his, but we saw lots of finches in the Galapagos. They're super important to evolution, and again, I wouldn't know much about evolution or Darwin if I wouldn't have known about the Galapagos, and if kids science wouldn't have taught me a lot. So I really did enjoy my interview with Mandy. I really liked the fact that she was able to open my view to the fact that she didn't know what she was doing, and neither do I. Even though we have a lot planned and a lot of experience, I think that's how you become successful in any field. And I really hope to become as comfortable in a job like Mandy. Based on what I learned, this really showed me that I like where I am right now, and that I would like to follow this path because I'm more confident in the fact that I will be able to find something out of a little bit of chaos. So that is all I have. Thank you for listening.